Ever wondered how much it would actually cost to build the Death Star? Turns out, an economist from Washington University, Zach Feinstein, did the math, and the numbers are absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking quadrillions just for the materials alone. But here's the real kicker. According to his research, constructing the Death Star might have completely crippled the galactic economy. Today we're diving into some mind-blowing numbers that put this infamous space station into perspective. Even though the US military can drop anywhere between $500 and $600 billion on advanced weapons every year, building a Death Star would take that kind of spending, and then some, to an entirely different level. So let's break it down. What would it take to bring this ultimate weapon to life? Believe it or not, there was actually a petition on We the People asking the US government to build a Death Star. It gathered over 100,000 signatures, enough to get an official response. Unsurprisingly, the government shot it down, stating the administration does not support blowing up planets, and questioning why taxpayer dollars should be spent on a project with a fundamental design flaw that could be exploited by a single starfighter. As humorous as that may sound, it got me thinking, what if we seriously calculated the costs? Let's start with the basics, the construction materials. Lehigh University crunched some numbers and determined that it would cost a staggering $852 quadrillion just to produce the steel required for the Death Star's shell. To put that into perspective, that number is more than 13,000 times the gross domestic product of the entire world. And that figure only covers the raw metal. It doesn't include the cost of communications equipment, weapon systems, or even the day-to-day operational expenses. Imagine scaling up from the cost of real-world military projects. Take the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier, for example, which cost about $17.5 billion just for its steel. Now multiply that by the sheer volume of steel needed to construct a moon-sized battle station spanning 100 to 140 kilometers in diameter. The result is an astronomical price tag that can boggle your mind. But the steel shell is only the beginning. To transform that empty metal sphere into a fully functioning superweapon, you need to outfit it with advanced turbo lasers, state-of-the-art defensive systems, and the iconic super laser capable of obliterating planets. Economist Zach Feinstein used large-scale military projects like the Manhattan Project as a benchmark, and his estimate for a complete Death Star comes out to over $192 quintillion, with over 20 years of construction time. And that still doesn't cover the cost of developing kyber crystals, the fictional power source for the super laser. And there's more. A British energy company calculated that once built, the daily operating cost of a Death Star would be an unbelievable $7.8 octillion. Breaking that down further, the first Death Star is said to have been crewed by 1.7 million military personnel, supported by 400,000 maintenance droids and 250,000 civilians or independent contractors. Even if we paid everyone just $10 an hour, the staffing alone would set you back over $32 trillion per year. Lighting up the entire station would cost around $52 billion per day. Every load of laundry, a cool $200 million. And powering that giant laser weapon, each use is estimated to cost around $8 octillion. Combine all these expenses and you quickly see that the operating costs far outstrip the initial construction bill. Even if money were no object, the logistics of constructing a Death Star present insurmountable challenges. While Earth technically contains enough iron to build 2 million Death Stars, most of that iron is locked away in the planet's core. Extracting it safely and efficiently is beyond our current and likely ever capabilities. Even if we could mine the necessary iron from the Earth's surface, at current production rates it would take over 800,000 years just to produce the required amount of steel for the Death Star's shell. Then there's the issue of getting that steel into orbit. With current technology, launching material into space costs roughly $20,000 per kilogram. For the astronomical mass of a Death Star, you'd be looking at over $21 quintillion just to get it off the ground. The more feasible alternative might be mining resources directly from asteroids or moons near the construction site, but that option is still prohibitively expensive for any one planet species. Even in the Star Wars universe, building the Death Star would have been a colossal financial risk. At its peak, the Galactic Empire controlled around 1.5 million core worlds and 69 million colonies, all tied together by a single economy. While the Empire managed to fund the project, at least until a single rebel hit a conveniently placed thermal exhaust port, the economic strain of such an investment would have been enormous. In essence, the Death Star wasn't just a weapon of terror, it was a financial albatross that could have crippled the entire galactic economy. So when you consider the astronomical costs, from $852 quadrillion just for the steel to $7.8 octillion a day in operational expenses, it's clear that building a Death Star isn't just a monumental engineering challenge, it's an economic impossibility. Even if we could one day harness resources from asteroids or find a way to extract Earth's deep-seated iron safely, the cost and complexity of such a project would make it unfeasible for any civilization, whether on Earth or across the galaxy. Maybe one day, if humanity ever masters interstellar construction, we'll build something equally impressive. But let's hope we learn from the past and avoid placing any conveniently sized thermal exhaust ports in the process. I want to know what you think though. Could a superweapon like the Death Star ever be within our reach, or is it destined to remain a cautionary tale in the annals of extreme military spending. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.